You need to stop buying from TCGPlayer now! Don't be like the 30% of you guys have not smashed the crap out of that subscribe button. Smash as we get to 103,000. Today on Hot Takes from the Community. Oh man, I really wish I would make up some of the things that I read, but this is a good one. So can we please stop using TCGPlayer to value cards? We already know that anyone who makes $2,000 or more a month can do a buyout on a card they like. This artificially inflates the price and prices people out of the game. We should be talking about alternatives like eBay when looking at cards, because more competition is good for the consumer. I'm going to tell you why you're wrong, ladies and gentlemen. So most of the community years ago used eBay as the standard of pricing. It was up until probably the last 6 years that we kind of switched over to TCGPlayer. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you about this opinion being absolutely wrong. TCGPlayer is the marketplace on the NA side of the market. If I'm going to sell cards, I'm going to go by that standard of pricing. All right, well, here's the thing. Anybody with a brain knows that eBay exists. People know that Troll and Toad exists. I think that's what I find hilarious about this statement is you act like Core, Ideal 808, all of these other stores exist. There are like infinite mom and pop stores out here that do online sales. But why in the hell would I go to a platform that has a card that costs more money? Oh, economics 101, baby. That's why I find this statement so amusing is when I'm looking to buy a card, I'm going to go wherever the card is cheapest, all right? That's the thing, all right? I do cross-reference. When I myself am making a purchase, I will go to eBay, I'll go to TCGPlayer. It also depends on the lightning speed in which I want the card, ladies and gentlemen. You also have to factor in, stores that you've bought from versus relationships, but clearly that's not the case. So, for example, on Market Watch here, all right, we go ahead and we look at, say, something like Blue Eyes White Dragon. Well, I'm going to go by the standard that most of the community goes by. If you look at the price on something and you see, oh, well, that's bought out, then go over and look at what these other stores are doing. It's not that hard. All right, we know that predominantly other sources exist. All right, TCGPlayer is the one that the community goes by. And now I'm not going to lie to you guys. I love when you go try to trade with somebody and they try to go off of YugiOhPrices.com. All right, these people, I shit you not, they exist. All right, and they're like, well, I value my card at this price. And you're like, well, it's not worth that much. All right, like, I'm not going to value my card via TCGPlayer and have your value yours when yours is a different price, right? That's an entirely different discrepancy at that point in time. Now, on the subject of buyouts here, ladies and gentlemen, well, if the card is bought out, then why are you not going to another platform to buy it? That's why I don't understand. Like, I don't know why you're complaining about a card being bought out when if it's cheaper in another platform, congratulations. Do you know that trading cards are sold on Amazon? Do you know that some cards on Amazon are much cheaper? You know what really rustles people's jimmies? If you buy cards on Amazon and you don't get your stuff, you know what you're paying for on TCGPlayer? TCGPlayer has some of the best goddamn customer service I have ever given and I've ever received from a company. All right, their customer service surpasses eBay in my opinion. eBay can be indifferent at times to certain things, but you know what? TCGPlayer, gold star every single time. You make an effort to work out things with your customers. Absolutely amazing. I predominantly sell on TCGPlayer, right? TCGPlayer is like the one place I go to sell my stuff, and a lot of people actually check for MCole Games. Did you know that MCole Games is my store, by the way? I don't know why I need to really point that out to anybody here. I figured two brain cells once again will go MCole 40, MCole Games. And you got like the whole little math formula running on your face, and you're like, that's got to be not MCole 40. Hello? So, to say that we shouldn't use TCGPlayer as a guidance line for setting prices for cards is completely ignorant in my opinion. Dodging the fact of one of the biggest online trading platforms where the market moves is also stupid. All right, the fact that you are completely ignoring the market out here tangibly trying to sell something. I also think that this logic means that you're just trying to sell this for a much higher experience. All right, who cares if a card's bought on one platform? All right, once again, the average player knows ideally to a core, eBay, Amazon, hell, even Amazon. Ladies and gentlemen, you have market competition here. But one other thing that you forgot to mention here is a lot of these sellers will multi-platform their stuff. Let me blow your mind here for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that you, as a seller, have the authority to list, if you're using Crystal Commerce, for example, here, you can list your cards on Amazon, eBay, and TCGPlayer simultaneously. No, that doesn't mean that I have 32 copies per platform. That means that I have 32 copies of that card, which are being sold on each platform. All right, that means that as the 32 go, my inventory gets smaller and smaller, but a lot of people don't seem to understand that either. All right. Competition is a healthy thing, all right? That's why it's an open marketplace, ladies and gentlemen. That's why people can compete to sell their cards. Why do you think it sucks when you see a card for 1 penny less? It's because that other guy's trying to cut the other guy. It's open market competition. It happens, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Economics 101. Don't sit here and play ignorant with me when I just sit here and we cover on MarketWatch TCGPlayer, which is the most traded platform, in my opinion, for lower-end cards. Obviously, if you want higher-end cards, you're going to go to eBay. Absolutely. You want that free card security to verify that your $1,000, $3,000, your $15,000 Blue Eyes White Dragon is actually authentic by Beckett? Yeah, you can now do that. Weird. TCGPlayer doesn't have that. I would actually consider eBay to be your bigger platform for much higher end things, though a lot more scamming things actually tend to happen on eBay. But now with the grading thing, I think that that's been changed at this point in time. So honestly, though, guys, in the comment section, I want to hear your generalized thoughts on this. Do you think that, should we be promoting these alternatives? I mean, I just assume, and maybe this is the thing that, catches me off guard with everything is, ever since I've started explaining more in-depth deck profiles and things like this and explaining the same thing 19 times over in videos, I assume that people have this knowledge that if we look at something and go, oh, hey, the purpose of this MarketWatch is to focus in on what's going on the TCGPlayer side of things and how it's affecting the overall turnaround. But if you're going to take 3 seconds to go on Troll and Toad and see, oh, well, there's still some over here, congratulations. It doesn't matter if they're in stock or not. If you're not going to buy one at the reduced price, then the hell does it matter? I think it's the other thing that amazes me here is people like to complain about prices. All right, something got bought out, but you're doing nothing to actively contribute to the market by selling a copy at a cheaper price, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's the thing that I find hilarious about this is oh my God, screw them for doing the buyout. What's the matter? They wanted to buy out X-teen copies of that. Welcome to an open market, ladies and gentlemen. You can shame them and be mad at that, but at the end of the day, I see the same mentality from a lot of players, and it's the fuck you mentality. It's fuck you for doing that, and it's oh, well, if you would have done that and you would have made that same amount of money, that's the other thing. That's the other thing I like bringing up with these sorts of videos as well. Jealousy is a real thing in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. All right, it's one of the worst things ever. But you also have to know that if you could buy out a certain thing and make X amount of money over time with that knowledge, you bet your ass you'd do it. Do it in a heartbeat. If you knew that you would get those free chicken tendies, you'd do it. Would you consider that market manipulation? No. I consider that an exposition of funds. I consider that you're making a proper call and you're making money. Welcome to being a businessman, ladies and gentlemen. Does it suck for the player base? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Borreload Savage went up. I'm going to say the same thing I say all the time on these things. You've had plenty of time to pick up a cheap copy. All right, most of these buyouts that happen over time, the cards have been sitting there for months. The only one that you have to blame is yourself for not getting ahead of the curve and doing things. I cover these market watches. I help a lot of people out with these types of things. There are a lot of people. I get a lot of thank yous from a lot of players. Go, Robbie, you made me a lot of money. Thanks for listening, audience. I'm glad that I could help. For those of you that are mad at me for doing these types of things, you're still watching. That's goddamn weird. You ask me. But, guys, continue to shop on TCGPlayer. Continue to look at the alternatives. Just use your brain when you do these kinds of things. Guys, leave a comment about 20 make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.